I feel like the best announcement from the Pokemon Presents, honestly, was Pokemon Champions. The trailer, first off, was like really hype. They started it out with some really cool music. But yeah, check this out. So we'll just kind of go through some stuff that we know and like what we learned about it. Right here, it does say not actual gameplay footage, but I feel like that is the closest that they got to it. There's like some awesome stuff about this, and then there's just like something kind of concerning, which is just that you have to imagine they probably will have it pretty close to that as far as the looks, like the graphics, what it looks like, but it does say not actual gameplay footage, and so I guess I'm just wondering, we're looking at a Switch 2 coming out, and by the way, we should note that they do make sure to, they're very deliberate in saying Nintendo Switch family of systems, so do you guys think we could ever, go past Switch 2 as well, when you look, farther into the future? Is it going to be Switch 3, Switch 4, and one day just, the Nintendo Switch Ultimate? I don't know, but, this is sort of the same concern I have about Pokemon Legends ZA. I kind of got this sense that it still looked a lot like Scarlet and Violet. It just looks a little bit Switch 1-ish rather than Switch 2-ish, meaning just the graphics and the prowess of it. And things can change between now and then, but I feel like they don't change too much. Maybe I'm wrong, but okay, let's get back to Champions though. You can read kind of the description of it from their announcement trailer on YouTube, the Pokemon official channel, but it says Pokemon battles all in one place. So this new battle-focused game will feature familiar mechanics such as Pokemon types, abilities, and moves, creating an environment conducive to rich and varied strategies for new and experienced trainers alike. I know a lot of the comments were talking about this being the official showdown, but it's worth noting, of course, what they say here, it's not just familiar mechanics. You'll also be able to bring in classic Pokemon from Pokemon Home too. And so yes, it's going to be cross-platform of Switch family, but also mobile. And so it does say there's a variety of different modes available for your desired experience. So essentially what I wanted to get to was okay, we can see there's a Mega Charizard X, and it's battling a terrestrialized Dondozo. And so if we really are taking the mechanics, or the gimmicks as people call them from other games, would there be Dynamax and Gigantamax versus Mega Pokemon or something of the like, or do you have to do a mode, Gigantamax mode, And so I know some people in the comments on their official channel, they were saying wow, if this has every Pokemon ever, every gimmick ever, that's gonna be the best thing in the world, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, you can see the fine print. It's essentially down below at the end of the announcement trailer, screenshots and game footage are from a product in development and not final, subject to change. But okay, just go down a little bit further, and it says, at the time of release, only select Pokemon will be available for use in Pokemon Champions. Not all Pokemon available in Pokemon Home will appear in Pokemon Champions. The Pokemon that you can send to Pokemon Champions via Pokemon Home are limited to Pokemon that appear in Pokemon Champions, but it does say that Pokemon that were only in Pokemon Champions that you obtained, they can't be put into Home, so it doesn't go back. But we got a glimpse of what they say, at least, which was Pokemon Go. Certainly, we know you can send those to Home. Same with Scarlet and Violet right now, and other titles in the Pokemon series, of course, many of you guys probably know. But then you just connect that to Pokemon Champions. So I do feel it's people in Pokemon Go, it's just so easy, for instance, to get 20 or more shinies, legendary Pokemon from raids and whatnot. Again, we're not saying that all of these are yet in Pokemon Champions, but you just have wild access to them. And when you think about it, Pokemon Go, as odd as it is to say this, it's gonna be one of the biggest libraries of Pokemon across every generation. And they keep bringing them back, so it's okay, let's say I missed generation 4 or 5 in Pokemon Go, well, they still bring them back through different events over a long period of time. So anyway, but if you did want that really good IVs, and you've trained it exactly how you want it with the exact moves, you're probably looking more at Scarlet and Violet. And so obviously they end. Stay tuned for future announcements. I think of the trajectory of this when I'm at least thinking about the release date. Something inside of me tells me late summer. I feel like it's going to be Pokemon Unite a little bit. And didn't Pokemon Sleep also, was that a late summer, or no, it was July, wasn't it? Anyway, Pokemon Go also came out in the summer. There's just something that tells me that because Pokemon Legends ZA, that'll be sort of that holiday times release. As far as different modes go, like my best guess would be like, okay, there's probably a tutorial, something that like at least helps like very beginner types of trainers. And then I imagine there's gonna be like a ranked mode, maybe could have like some kind of leaderboard and stuff like that. I'm hoping that there's like a spectator. I would love that. Like I always love to see people who are so much better than I am at battles. I just love to spectate them and call out their matches and stuff. But then there's probably a casual, someone who just wants to battle casually. So that's gonna be my guess. Maybe if they really wanted to like lean into Pokemon Stadium or something like that. But yeah, like would they go with like mini games? I'm a little bit less inclined to say that. But yeah, that's my thoughts. You guys, please let me know what you think down in the comments, as this will be a Game Freak title as well as the semi-new Pokemon Works. I don't know if we can say that new, but it's just essentially a subsidiary. More assistance with the production of Pokemon games, probably outside of like the main series. So yeah, again, let me know what you guys think, and thanks for viewing.